Hello, cohorts and fellow Deadites. I'm Brendan, and welcome to Our Life in Horror. Um, today we're going to be doing a movie review. Sorry, I'm out of it. I just got off of work, so bear with me here. I have a very special guest here, and we're going to be talking about Creepshow 2. I'm going to bring our guest on. We got Ian. What is going on?
Hello, I'm back to talk about another strange horror movie that most people would rather forget. So, yay!
You do pick the most out of left field movies, I do have to say.
Yeah, yeah, nothing that makes any real sense, but stuff which amuses me at least. That's good.
Yep. Why don't you tell everybody about your YouTube channel?
So I have a YouTube channel called Ian Mates Stuff, which used to be about like the movies I've made and stuff like that. But since I made the last one, it's mostly just me streaming video games at this point. So hopefully at some point we'll go back to horror movies and horror movie reviews. But yeah, just if anyone wants to subscribe, it's up there. There's content up fairly regularly, but I'm not particularly good at what days I put up. So it's very much whatever I feel like on the day. But Ian makes stuff on YouTube. So, yay.
Awesome. And
Oh,
Ryan does
cool.
have your
There's a link. Yay.
yeah, Ryan always has your link in the chat.
Good, good.
I'm gonna hit up the chat real quick here. We got Ryan Swayze. What is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Sam is listening in. She's saying hello to
Very
Ryan.
good. Very good.
Uh,
Wise.
Hello, Gene. And then we got some hi. Oh, there we go. Sam saying hi to you.
Yeah, sorry, my things that won't let me connect. But hello, everyone.
You see, we got Bo here. Critic After Dark. Love me some Creepshow. How about some Creepshow 2, Bo? Do you love that one? So this movie was released in 19. Well, first of all, you just picked this one because it's a lot of fun. You give me a description. Yeah, why did you pick Creepshow 2 over the first Creepshow?
I think I've seen this one more, so I just feel like it's something where uh, I have more of an ability to talk about this one. Yeah, I just fondly remember it from when I watched it first as like a kid. Like all segments seem very specific and interesting, and all different, which is nice. There's like three different stories in the interlocking story, so there's lots of different things to talk about. And yeah, it's my favorite ones I've seen, which is just the first one in the Shudder series, which is also pretty good. So yeah, and right now I'm just trying to figure out how to connect to this chat because my screen is terrible. uh,
um,
I'll
let's see.
figure
We'll
out.
just there's a couple more people in here right now. So say hello to Davey Dethray. What is going on? Happy Sunday to you too. And that's about it. So let's get into a. Oh, we got some links, more links in the chats for everybody to go check out, subscribe, sub, of course. But we will get into an overview of Creepshow 2, and then we'll enter a spoiler discussion. So. See, it was released in 1987. It's an hour and 32 minutes long. It has an IMDb score of 6 out of 10, and it has a 29% Rotten
Wow.
Tomatoes score. The overview for this is the second horror anthology, presents more eerie tales based on Stephen King's stories. One episode finds a cigar store Native American statue coming to life to avenge the death of the shop owner and his wife. Another featuring a group of teens menaced by a blob-like creature. The final installment follows a wealthy and callous woman who hits a hitchhiker with her car and decides to flee the scene, but the victim isn't inclined to remain dead. So we'll get into the cast. This is a large cast, of course, so I'm going to try my best to name off a few. But we got Stephen King making a cameo. Tom Savini plays the creep. Dominic John plays Billy. Lois Childs plays Annie. Dorothy Lamour plays Martha. George Kennedy plays Ray Spruce. Holt McCallan plays Sam Whitemoon. Um, played Anna, plays Rachel. Daniel Beer plays Randy. Tom Wright plays the hitchhiker, and Frank Salzadue plays Ben Whitemoon. All right, so yes, we'll get into some spoiler-free thoughts.
Yeah, so I mean I watched this like I've watched this like twice in the last month for this stream, and I really enjoy it. I mean I think it's very good. It's not particularly scary, but it's a very good sort of horror comic book anthology. I think some of the segments are really cool. Some of the effects are great, and the Raft is still one of the most surreal, strange horror anthology segments I've ever seen. So yeah, I know I really like this one.
All right, awesome. For me, I think this movie is lacking in a lot of like stylistic flair that the original has.
Yeah,
The length, yeah, like the length. And I don't like how like comic booky like the animation
mm.
is. Like I don't think it's particularly.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
curious to see because this just got announced on Arrow Video for like a 4K coming out in the future. So I'm like very curious to
ooh,
see how all this will translate over to that format.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, because I just have like an old DVD. I don't have the old
Mm.
Arrow Blu-ray release.
Yeah,
Um, but I do have to say that like there's a segment in this movie which is probably the best out of both movies. Like the raft is so good.
yeah, it really is. It's just
Yeah,
wholesome.
it's excellent. But like I do feel like I like the first one more
Mm.
this time than I think I've ever liked it
Yeah.
watching it previously because I've had this DVD for years. So, and it's not one that I revisit too often. But
Mm.
and I think I was just kind of lukewarm on the Hitchhiker personally. Um, I forgot to mention that this is directed by Michael Gornick, who was the cinematographer on the first movie, and he was also the cinematographer of Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead as well.
But
So
that's kind of
yeah,
interesting though, because like you said about the effects, you'd expect if he was cinematographer on the first one for it to look more like that. But you're right, it doesn't really feel much like the first one because that was very stylish and colorized, and some of the transitions and like the when they something happens to them and goes to that like close up and get like colorful backgrounds. None of that's in this movie, so it's very strange that they ditched the style completely. So I definitely get your point on that. I just feel like for me, I'm a big fan of comic books, so going more that aspect is something I do quite like. But yeah, those for example, that animated wraparound sequence is terrible.
yeah,
It's really bad.
I know that they're talking about Dead Letter Media, and they were saying that it's like borderline just like a little bit worse than like what you would get for like Saturday morning cartoons from
Yeah,
back in the 80s. And
yeah.
like a movie of like a higher budget should probably have a better
Oh yeah,
um animated team. But like this movie was also plagued by so many behind the scenes issues with
yeah,
budgetary reasons and unforeseen things that you couldn't help. Like the raft was supposed to be shot in Arizona. Well, it was shot in Arizona, but it was supposed to be like warm and nice, but it like rained for like 2 weeks.
hmm.
So there were huge delays there. And then just all kinds of stuff. I can hopefully see if I can find some more fun facts about it. But like one of the actors ended up getting hypothermia in the
I
raft too, so that was an automatic shutdown for 2 weeks.
yeah.
Um,
It looks it just watching it. It looks really cold and really horrible. None of the actors particularly look like they're doing a good job convincing us that it's warm weather. They all look like they're freezing every second they're on camera, which is sad for them. But like,
um, let's see. Oh, it's you in the chat. Okay, perfect. Um, well, we will get into some spoilers. So if you have not seen the Creepshow 2. Go check it out and then come back and rewatch this video. But describe this movie in 3 words.
Yeah, just comic book horror. I think that's the best way to describe it for me.
Okay. I'll go with, I don't know. I want to say inferior sequel or an inferior sequel.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think those. I think those are probably going to be my 3 words. Because, yeah, it's just. I want it to be as good as the first one because I really do like that original. I haven't seen like the original Creepshow in forever, and I really want to go back and revisit it and show it to Sam. But it's just one that we seem to keep putting off for some reason. But aside from that, who is your favorite character?
So I think Chief Woodenhead. I think construction flat is very cool. But I mean, I don't know really. It's like I don't know if there's a particular favorite because they're all quite functional, but no one really stands out. It's like this is a great character or this is like a great bit of acting. But I would probably go for Chief Woodenhead just for I think design is quite interesting and think the actors does quite a good job of his movements being very, very sort of slow and steady. So yeah, I guess him by default.
Okay. I'm going with Race Bruce. So he is the shop owner of the convenience store that basically is feeding this small dying town, and he's losing money right now, but he still wants to help people out. He basically, I'm pretty sure this is like America's Grandfather in the 80s. So like, am I, or in the 90s? Am I wrong? Like, I just feel like I know he's a very recognizable face. George Kennedy. Let's see what he's been in because I don't remember, but I feel like he was in like a Dennis the Menace movie.
Yeah, and Naked Gun. So he's been in loads of stuff like that. But yeah, no, he does a very good job in this. So I would wish I would have actually said here's my favorite character now, but like, eek.
He was also in Small Soldiers. He was in Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. That's probably where I recognize him the most.
Yeah.
Because I definitely remember watching that movie quite a bit. I haven't seen Naked Gun in a long time. That's one I want to rewatch soon, actually. But who is your least favorite character?
Is the woman from the Hitchhike segment? That's Annie, isn't it? Or is it whoever's the one who hits the drifter? She's an awful human being in this movie.
Yep. I am definitely agreeing with that one because she's having an affair with on her husband, and is she seeing like a male prostitute?
Yeah. So it's like, which raises a whole lot of other questions about her character that, like, even before you get to what she does, there's a lot of dubiousness to that character from the start, which makes her the least sympathetic one because the other characters, I mean, not that the ones in Raft are particularly sympathetic, but she has no redeeming qualities that I can see on screen. So it's quite a strange thing where it's like, are we meant to feel sorry for her, or are we meant to like think that the hitchhiker is in the right, or what are we meant to think during that entire sequence? It's a very strangely constructed one. So yeah, no, I think she's by far the worst character in this movie, and she's awful in every conceivable way.
I agree. Like, she constantly tries to like justify leaving. She's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, I don't know if he's actually dead or not. Like, should I go back? Oh, I'm sure everything's fine." Like, it's just and yeah, you never do get that like full sense because the only thing that, well, I guess we'll get into this in quotes, but like the only thing the hitchhiker ever like says is thanks for the ride, lady, and you never get a sense if it's like for revenge or if there's like this subtleness of like racism going on. Like, it's just never fully explored, and all these shorts are all so much longer than what they need to be. It would be nice if they were tighter, but okay. Who do you think has the best acting?
So like you said about character wise, I think George Kennedy is really good in this. Like that's such a hard role to play, being wholesome but not being over the top with it. So I think he's great, and I think Stephen King is absolutely insane in his like 30 seconds of screen time, where it's like for someone who's not an actor, he does a really good job of just going as big as he possibly can. So I'd probably say that those two. I like the stunt performer who does the Chief Woodenhead stuff, but I wouldn't say anyone else particularly does a tremendous job. They're all serviceable, but those two I would say are the best for me.
Yeah, I'd probably say like George Kennedy as well. I actually like, as despicable as the lady is at the end of the movie, I think she's doing a fairly good job. Um, and yeah, George Kennedy just absolutely kills it as this
Yeah.
old store owner who's just trying to help out his community the best he can. Um, what do you think of the score and soundtrack?
Um, so I think I like parts of it, and I think it definitely. So I don't think anything really stands out particularly. It's just the general. I like the main title score; is quite cool. But I couldn't really pick out any other parts where I was like, "This is tremendous," rather than just being like with some of that being just more serviceable to the actual thing. I don't think anything's as good as in the first one, but yeah, I do like it overall.
Yeah, I like the theme of it. Other than that, I can't really remember too much of the score itself, to be honest. I haven't watched it since the first time we were supposed to record, and
Yeah,
of course, I apologize for missing it, but I did
that's
get
all
a
right,
job
boss.
out of it.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, the I think the score is serviceable for the movie. Um, the cinematography, how do you feel about that?
Uh, well, like we said before, it's not as good as the first one. It's more laid back. Like they're more happy just let scenes play out, and it's shot in a, I guess, more economical way where like it's not getting in the way of what's happening. I mean, especially that scene in convenience store. It's very happy to just record the scene and just let it play out rather than do anything too flashy. But flip side of that is that while it does that, there's nothing particularly great about it. There's nothing that really stands out. And although I do say it feels like, in terms of how it's acted and written, like a horror comic book, there are a lot of parts of it where like TV show does a really good job of like having comic book panels and stuff like that. This movie doesn't really do that. So there are times when it'd be more interesting if it being a bit more stylish, but I think overall it does an okay job. Nothing gets in the way of what's happening, but nothing really leaps out either.
I feel like this movie definitely struggled with budgetary issues because they did cut the budget in half. Um, yeah, like the first movie it almost feels like you're reading one of the old EC comics or the um, one of the Tales of Terror comic books from the 80s. Um, like there's Dutch angles and then there's like so much
Yeah,
color in the first film. It's insane. And you said like the custom colored backgrounds and stuff like that. And we just don't get any of that in this this movie as far as what I remember. So like it's it's kind of upsetting that a movie that defined itself with how
yeah,
stylistic it is and its sequel just kind of, I don't think it was intentional that it was thrown out the window. I do think that it was budgetary reasons. But just yeah, all just thrown out the
yeah,
window and we're just gonna go to a standard film and our comic book lead in is just gonna be animated, fully animated shorts.
yeah.
instead of cool like panel transitions that the original was. So yeah, I do think the cinematography is just okay. I do think there are some shots in the raft that are particularly really well done.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah.
like there's the shot of her when she's coming up and her hands like reaching up to the sky and
Oof.
the
Yeah, that's
water's
good.
just glistening all around her and she's covered in the
Yeah.
it's a blob. It's the blob basically. Like so that's all it pretty much is. But yeah, like there's some really cool shots in that one, I do have to admit. Um yeah, other than that, I just think it was fine. Do you have any favorite costumes or outfits?
So I like the construction of and the way that they made Chief Woodenhead feel like it's actually like some sort of statue that comes to life. But apart from that, no, I mean it's all very small town America. There's no real attempt to make it much more than that. Really. Um, I mean, I suppose the hitchhiker's outfit when he's gets hit and he's bleeding more and things like that is quite cool. But yeah, no, I don't think there's any costumes past Chief Wormhead where I'm like, that's really impressive. And that one, I'm more, I don't think it's great, but I think they at least tried to do something different with that character.
Yeah. Did you know that he was all in like it's like a foam suit that actors
Oh,
in?
shit. Wow, that's cool.
Um
I mean, it must be horrible
yeah.
being, but like,
I couldn't imagine how hot it was in there. Um
Jesus Christ.
but yeah, so that is probably the only costume I like too. I don't think anybody's outfits
No.
really stood out in the movie at all. Um let's see, I guess we'll get into some favorite quotes.
Yeah, so I mean, I always get a kick out of Stephen King's entire insane bunch of lines back to back, where it's just like, oh. But the one that really sticks with me is I do get a kick out of thanks for the ride, lazy. I know there's a lot of repetition with it, but I just like the fact that like throughout that entire segment, it's the one like really connective bit between everything, and where it gets more and more sort of garbled and sort of esoteric the more he says it and more he gets hurt. And one I didn't like is I did get sick of how many times Poncho was said in this movie because it's said over and over and over and over again. And by the last one, I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't really get what this is a reference to. So it's just really annoying to keep hearing it said.
Nice. Yeah, I got thanks for the ride lady too. Um let's see. I had a bunch of stuff from um let me see. There's now may your spirit rest, old warrior. Um
That's a good one.
yeah, I liked a lot of dialogue actually
Hmm.
from the first one. I really like how just George Kennedy is talking about the town, and it doesn't matter if he's making a bunch of money or not because like he's got money to give to his grandkids, and the store's been everything to them. It feels like he's talking about like a piece of history with his
Yeah.
store. So like all his dialogue, I think from the first section is very good.
Hmm.
But other than that, I didn't have too many other quotes. Like I know that like thanks for the ride, lady is probably the quote of the movie essentially.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's very good.
I'm just gonna say hi to the chat real quick because we got some new
Cool, cool.
people in here. We got Happy Sanjo. What is going on, Koi? Let's see who else. We got Corey. What is going on, man? Hope you're having a good Sunday. Let's see. Happy Sanjo also says that he likes this one, just not as much as the first. Oh, there it is. Like this
Yeah.
movie. I know we kind of talked about it. You said that you didn't like the poncho, so like other lines disliked.
I mean, that's the main one. I think just the some of ones in Raft. I think Raft is just the best segment, but I think like when I never remember character names when the jock guy threatens to hit his partner if she says anything. He's like, "Oh, I won't smoke if you say anything." I was like, even by 80 standards, that's a very strange line to have in the movie. It just feels very uncomfortable. So I'm not happy. I wasn't too impressed with that one. And just I think some of the way that they did banter between characters, like that again can't remember his name, but that guy in convenience store, the like not one friend, like the one who keeps eating all the chocolate. I just thought his lines, yeah, where it just makes him out like they're like lines written for a 5-year-old that they gave to like someone who looked well into his 20s, and that was quite strange and irritating, which I guess was the point. But at the same time, it was just not particularly enjoyable to have to listen to him repeatedly saying those lines. So yeah, probably that's like my main bugbear with this movie, dialogue-wise.
Yeah, he plays like the most generic 80s fat guy, like bad bully best friend ever. Especially with his like crazy laugh that reminds me of like Scrooge from Night of the Demons. My bit of dialogue that I don't like is like all this Sam Whitemoon talking about his flowing hair, and it's like a bit that just lasts the entire the entire like I guess like the entire short story. It's like every 3 minutes he's got to talk about his luscious long hair, which is just ridiculous. And then, well, I get it because it's a setup for how the end of the story ends, but
yeah,
it's just like enough, man. No, all the ladies don't want you because of your hair, dude. Nobody cares that if you go to Hollywood. So there was that. That's the only line I have that was not that big on. Let's see. We're gonna hit the chat up again here real quick because we got Sledgehammer in the chat. What is going on? I'm assuming it is Ken. Thanks for the ride, lady. And we also have Tina Loves Movies. Hey guys, I'm just at work, but wanted to stop in and say hi, hello. Hopefully, I also just got done work, so I feel your pain, but hopefully you're having a good shift. And
absolutely.
then Ken making a donation of $5.99. Brendan is my spirit animal. Thank you. We are gonna get you a. What are we gonna do? How do you do this? Media assets. Let's see if we can get you a super chat here, Ken, and we'll do Sam's favorite. And I feel like Ken will appreciate this one. I mean, you can't go wrong. Thank you so much, Ken. Let's see. There's some further chat. Everybody is just kind of chit-chatting, so awesome. Let's see here. Favorite kill?
So I'm going to go with Rachel, the first one that gets taken out by the blob or oil or whatever it is, because it is just absolutely disgusting in the best possible way. I was going to say maybe the guy's friend who gets pulled through the balls is quite cool, but it's just being dragged underneath and blob oil consuming her. It really that's the fact that this movie is just such a disgusting in the best possible way.
The raft kill? I can't tell. Are you lagging out a little bit, or is it just our computer?
I think I am. Yeah, no, it knocked me off for a second for some reason, but yeah, no. The first one taken out in raft. I think that's just such a cool scene.
Yep, that's where it leads to her doing like the
Mm.
cool shot in the
Yeah,
water and
yeah.
stuff, right? It hurts, you know.
Oh,
I
God, yeah.
I I think that whole segment takes like the cake for every best kill. Like, there's not one kill in there that is
Mm.
bad. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the movie doesn't even hold a candle to one single kill in that whole middle segment. Um, yeah, there's the girl getting her face ripped off. There's also like the blob coming through
Mm.
the floorboards and like sucking them through. Um, I
Yeah.
really like I really like the last guy who thinks he kind of survived, and then like my favorite kill is when that it's like a tidal wave of the blob, and then
Yeah.
it fucks him right
Oh,
back in.
so awesome.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot, and then it pans
So,
over to the whatchamacallit, the no
yeah.
swimming sign. So I think that one is my favorite kill. What's your least favorite kill?
I'm gonna go for Sam just because, like, we get the start of it, and then it obviously because they can't show it because ratings and things like that. But he's just about to be scalped, and then it cuts away, and it's like, no, that's the one I want. Like, it was so horrible, George Kennedy. I want to see this, and then it cuts away, and I'm like devastated because they sort of do that with the other two in that segment where they don't show the actual scene leading up to them dying. They just do it off camera too, which is, I'm sure, budgetary thing, but it's like you're saying, if they had some more visual effects to do up of them, it would probably be a bit cooler. But they just sort of like there's an arrow fired, and then you show the aftermath, and it's like, oh, this is a bit crap. But definitely Sam, because I don't think we get the payoff that we should for how horrible he is to like America's grandpa George Kennedy. Like, he deserved his vengeance, and he never got it. So
I will agree. If the raft has the best kills in this movie, the cigar smoking Indian has the worst kills um, throughout the
yeah.
entire short film. Yeah, not one. I don't think like a single one is actually shown. You get shadows that
Yeah.
implicate one of the guys is getting axed in the head. You get cutaways. You barely see any of the aftermath. It's just an overly all disappointing. Like the guy talked about his hair throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
Let's see him get his hair actually taken off with that
Exactly.
hatchet there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. But let's see. You're kind of answering it here, but Ken's got a question. When the jock dies on the raft, how did his hand get through the crack of the raft with his ring to get stuck? I do not know. And you said the oil did it. The blob got him.
Blob, yeah. No, I mean, like, I think you have to suspend so much disbelief during that part of what happens to him and how it happens. Like, no, I just go with the simplest explanation. That's meant to make sense of it. But the the blob seems to have magical properties anyway. Just like
Oh.
it's
Um, how do you feel about the gore and the special effects? Oh, did we lose you?
I think Rob has some really good effects with like the blob. But yeah, just that whole bit. It's just like it doesn't do.
Oh, oh, I think we lost him. Uh-oh. Ian, come
Yeah,
back.
I don't know what's going on with my internet tonight.
That's okay. You're back. You're back. You're back. Um,
Good, good.
I was just gonna say, could you repeat yourself on the gore and special effects question? That's where we
Yeah,
started.
no,
That's where we lost you.
I love the raft section, like the blob, how it looks. The violence in that section is fantastic. I think there's parts of the Chief Wormhead section I like, and I like the sort of violence and the escalation of how the hitchhiker looks as that one goes along. But I'd probably say the best part is by far the raft for that. The effects are really cool in that section.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They definitely blew their money on that one and kind of said we'll make do with whatever we can for the rest of them. Yeah, I think the raft is easily the most special effects heavy. I think it looks the best. Like the foam suit, like I don't. It's so hard to make a statue come to life. I just don't understand. Like I feel like the Oddity did a fairly good job of it, but I don't think they ever truly showed it moving. It's been a while since I've seen it, so like I don't know
Yeah.
how you make something like that work, but this is clearly the best what they could do. The hitchhiker's good. Like he deteriorates slowly throughout the whole section, so I do appreciate that. But the body horror and stuff like that, and the raft is so good. It works so well. I like that the blob has still like the decaying skeletons and stuff like that, even like long after it just constantly has them. So yeah, like all that. How about your storyline and pacing? You still there, Ian? Oh, you gotta. Oh, my internet. Ian, if you can hear me, you can maybe try logging off and logging back in, and I can just take a break and chit chat with the chat. Um, just let me know. Ken, how was your Sunday, dude? How's it going? Oh,
Yeah, I might be back. Who knows?
if you want to like restart restart the internet or something like that and log off real quick and come back on, that's totally okay with me. It's up to you. Otherwise, we can keep going.
Yeah. I'll be back. I'll be.
Oh, okay. I am solo for the moment, so we will open the floor for question period. Who's got a question for me? Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
Hopefully I'm back. I don't know how long that'll be for, but
You're a lot smoother now. So
that's good. That might get me a few more minutes at least. So
at least enough time to make it through the next category. All right, we got storyline and pacing. So, what are your thoughts?
I think this could have definitely had one more story and cut some of the segments down a bit. After works, and I think that just really works for its like complete time.
We're losing you. Yep. Saying, oh, the old internet problems. I guess I will give my thoughts on the storyline and pacing. Let's see. Your comment: the gods of reality do not want me to discuss. I know it seems to be that way. Are you back?
Uh,
Oh, lost him again. Let's see. How does let's everybody let's whoever's still listening, what is your favorite anthology movie? Let me know in the chat. I'm very curious because anthologies can either go one way or the other, but there's always something in an anthology that there's always one story that everybody seems to like. So name your favorite anthology and your favorite segment within it. Ian, you're back. All right. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think we heard your answer for the storyline and pacing. Could we get a repeat?
I
No, we've lost you already.
think I think good enough story. This is
Let me see. We got Ryan Swayze saying that Trick or Treat for him. Excellent anthology. What is your favorite segment from Trick or Treat? Would it be the principal? Would it be the I don't know the reverse Little Red Riding Hood? Would it be the bus? Would it be the old man with Sam? What would your favorite segment be? I really like it, actually. I really like the segment with the old man. Actually, I think they're all really good, but let's see. Sam's favorite segment is the werewolves. So kind of the reverse Little Red Riding Hood storyline, which I think is really good too. The old man, the bus driver from back in the day. Excellent. I love that one too. I really like the principal one just because I think I love the principal. I think he's a great actor. And I love the little kid from Bad Santa too. He's really funny. And his son too is also very funny. So great choice, great choice. Any other anthology movies? We watched one a long time ago. It was called Holidays, and that one has a really good Easter Bunny one or Easter style one. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it ever again. But I would love to. The Mortuary Collection is also another good anthology horror. Sam really liked the Valentine's one from Holidays, which I don't actually remember. Ian says my PC has given up VHS 85. That's a franchise I need to revisit and get through the new trilogy and beyond. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point because I do own them all. I just have not gotten around to them, but I do hear they were getting really good. Let's see. Bo says After Midnight from like 1989 or something was a pleasant surprise. I've never heard of that one. There's another one that's a really um there's Southbound is supposed to be a really good anthology movie that we bought but we still haven't seen yet, but that's one that I'd really like to check out. Let me see, we're figuring out here what we should do. And should I finish my thoughts or do you think Ian will be back? I concede defeat. Creepshow 2. I'm telling you, it's um Creepshow 2 is just not a movie that we want to talk about, but we will definitely try for another movie another time. I will, I guess, finish my thoughts on this movie since I did watch it about 2 weeks ago, but uh, I'll try my best to keep up with Ian's energy on this movie because he seems to really enjoy this movie. And I think it was just kind of, as Sean would say over at Sean's Horror Corner, mid. I think that's what all the kids are saying now these days, right? It's mid if it's just average. I'm not too caught up with the slang. But let's see. Storyline and pacing. So this movie runs at an hour, like what? I said an hour 35. It's too long. It's too long for 3 short stories and a wraparound. I think the original. I'll check out here and see what the original. Oh, let's see. Let's check out and see what the original runtime was because that one had 5 stories in it plus the wraparound, I believe. So I do think that this is way too long for just that many stories. Oh, it's 2 hours, so it's actually a very lengthy horror anthology, but this one runs at about an hour 32, but it feels like each one seems to take forever and drag on for too long. But I do think the wraparound story is probably one of the worst aspects of this movie. It's all animated, and I feel like it's all very bad. But you do get a Tom Savini dressed up in the crypt keeper makeup. Not doing the voice though, but he is the actor present. Yeah, so yeah. I don't know. I still think the raft is the best one. I think it has the most fun. I think the effects are the best. I think the last one, the hitchhiker, is kind of a story that's been played out too much by now. It's just kind of one of those classic urban legend ones, but I don't think it really works as good as what it could. Like if it was like 5 minutes shorter, it probably work a lot better. In the store shop owner at the beginning, I really like that one, but I do feel like it just it ruins itself by not being as gory as what the raft could be. So yeah, I don't know. I do think that there's some timing and pacing issues with this movie for sure, 100%. We'll get into some favorite scenes next. What people in the chat and people who've seen this movie, what are your favorite scenes? Help me and Ian finish this stream in spirit. Ian says that the wraparound sucks as well. It truly does. Favorite scenes. I really love the introduction of the 2 shop owners. And their whole, I don't know, they probably get like a 5 or 10 minute introduction sequence that I really enjoy. You have the entire raft. So however long that one is, the raft is a really good movie. And I think for the hitchhiker, like I don't really have any favorite scenes individually. Like the hitchhiker is okay. Do I have any favorite scenes from it? Not particularly. It's probably the one I least remember, really, besides the wraparound, which has like a giant Venus flytrap come and eat the bullies or something like that at the end of the movie, which is just ridiculous. But it can be fun. Ryan's only seen the first Creepshow. I mean, I guess we'll talk about recommendations at the end of the review, but I'll hold on to my thoughts for you. These favorite scenes are definitely the wraparounds. I think they're really rough, 90s cartoons. They don't look great, and it's pretty basic, bare bones. I also don't like how there's the ending shot as well, where the Crypt Keeper drives away throughout the credits, and it's just steadily holding it. Like I don't know why. It's just whatever. Like why is this whole thing even here? But that's probably it, really. I mean, there's a lot of issues with like character. Oh, okay, the raft. This is like the same thing that happened in Cabin Fever with like the nice guy kind of thing, and then it gets really rapey all of a sudden, which is kind of really weird. So yeah, that was apparently the point of the story, but very weird. I guess there's no killer for this in particular. You can talk about I don't know. Each segment has its own killer. Really, I think the Blob is the best killer in my opinion. I feel so thrown off now that I'm all by myself. I'm sorry. Scary rating out of 10. I'm going with a 0. Actually, you know what? I'll probably go with the 2. One and a half. 1.5 out of 10. I do think that the raft does hold some good body horror, decent gore in it, and I do think it's a terrifying idea of being stuck out in a raft in the middle of the lake, surrounded by a gelatinous blob that's eventually going to try to eat you. So yeah, I'll go with that one because I do think that that's a scary one. Rewatchability. It's a tough one. Maybe every once in a while. I would like to upgrade this to a 4K disc and give it a rewatch then, especially with some like new special features and stuff like that. I think it would be really cool. I don't think it'd be a bad double feature with the original Creepshow. So maybe like Tales from the Dark Side might be a better one. Um, I mean, like, yes, I would rewatch this, but I haven't seen, like, the last time I watched this movie, Ian, was in high school, or I think even when I got this movie when I was in like elementary school or like grade 6 or 7 or 8, watching it back then, I think I knew it wasn't good because this is like one of the first like DVDs I got. I think I got it from my mom for like birthday or something like that. Like it's an old DVD. So rewatchability, maybe not too often. Would I recommend? I would. I would recommend the Raft, and I'd recommend the Store Shop Owner one just for the characters. The Hitchhiker one's okay, like I said, but like you can skip the rest of these. Like you can literally just fast forward to the Raft, finish it, and then just shut the movie down, and you've seen the best part. The Raft is literally the best out of both franchises or both entries. It like in just terms of the body horror and the gore, like it's fantastic. I haven't seen the original Creepshow in a long time too, so like bear with me. It's been a while, but revisiting this, I've definitely have a new love and full appreciation for the Raft. I think the Raft is sweet. So if you're not going to watch this full movie, at least try to find the Raft segment and check that out for sure. So what would I give this at a scale of 1 to 5? I'll go with 2 stars out of 5. Ian, if you're still, I'm assuming you're still listening and in the chat. Let everybody know what you would rate this movie, and I'll announce it on here. But what would everybody give Creepshow 2 if you've seen it? I'm giving it a 2 stars, and while you guys think of your answer, I will read off some fun, creepy facts. I'll try to find some trivia facts here. Let's see. Let me see. Daniel Beer, who played Randy in the segment The Raft, almost died from hypothermia. The water was so cold his body turned green. The crew wanted him to continue acting, but director Michael Gornick and said if they get him to keep working, he will walk off the set and never return. So they took him to the hospital and he made a full recovery and completed the segment of The Raft. Damn, man. Hollywood producers are just brutal. Daniel Halbert appeared in the segment Old Chief Woodenhead. His father, Hal Holbrook, starred in Creepshow 1982 segment The Crate. So we get Fluffy in The Crate. Another great one. Let's see. Although the film consists of only 3 short stories and a wraparound animated stories where there were just like in the original Creepshow, originally 5 stories were written. One of these was The Cat from Hell, which was later used in a similar anthology film, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, and was directed by John Harrison. The other story originally intended to be in this movie was the Stephen King short story Pinfall. about ghostly rival bowling teams. So I've actually heard something different. I heard it was going to be called something else, and that it was going to be about zombie bowlers, not that. So if you bought the collector's edition from Arrow Video, you do get a comic book with that short story in it. So that's a little neat, fun physical media fact for you. Let's see. This film marked Dorothy Lamar's first film appearance in 11 years since a cameo back in 1976. But it also turned out to be her final one as well, and overall final on-screen acting appearance. She would, however, live until September 22nd, 1996, dying at the age of 81. Huh. At the beginning of the final segment, The Hitchhiker, several Stephen King novels are visible in the bedroom on the headboard of the bed. Let's see. Makeup artist Ed French was originally supposed to play the role of the creep, but left the project. Tom Savini stepped in to play a small prosthetic Aladdin role. Could have just said he came in, stepped in to play the creep. Let's see. When Andy Cavana, one of the three young punks in the first segment, Old Chief Woodenhead, is checking out the comic book in the magazine rack at Spruce's General Store. Several issues of the Creepshow comic can be seen with the same cover of the graphic novel adaptation of Creepshow 1982. It's cool. Barbara Eden was originally cast as the hit and run driver Annie in the last segment, the hitchhiker, but had to drop out prior to filming due to her mother falling ill. Much of the soundtrack was performed by legendary keyboardist Rick Wakeman of the English prog rock band Yes. That is quite the rock band name. Yes. Let's see. I'm gonna hit up the comments here real quick, and then I'll see if there's any more fun ones. Let's see. Ian is going to be giving this movie a 3 out of 5. He said he tried logging back into the stream, but didn't work. Bloody PC. Thanks for having me on. Of course, Ian, you're always welcome on. I guess this is on me because I missed the last one. So the last time we tried to do this, so we will definitely have to get together again and talk about a different film. Sam is also thanks for coming on. Thanks, but after my awful video, I've set a bad precedent of quality on my channel. I'm sure that's not true. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm just saying it's fine. It's a fine movie. I mean, I'm saying The Raft is fantastic. So you got 1/3 of this movie that is great, in my personal opinion. Yeah, that's 100%. Of course, one of the fun facts is that Stephen King cameos as the truck driver in the segment The Hitchhiker. Oh, here we go. Nicolas Cage is rumored to have originally been considered to play the role of the creep, which would actually probably be more entertaining. I do have to say. An currently in production trailer reused the theme music from Halloween Part 2. Oh, geez. Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger is rumored to have been considered of the role of Old Chief Woodenhead. Could you imagine? That would have been insane. That would have been one big Indian statue right there. Let's see. By the time shooting began, they were already 10 days behind schedule due to unexpected rain in the Arizona locations. What is nice about this is that they were going to shoot everything on location, which is good. Trailer narrated by Percy Rodriguez. The red neon clock in Spruce's General Store in the segment Old Chief Woodenhead is the same one that was previously used in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Okay. In the segment The Raft, the bird sound heard is not a loon. If it's not a loon, then what is it? This is a half a fact. You got half a fact here on IMDb. Tell me what the real bird is. Like, come on. George Kennedy was later mentioned by name in Stephen King's 1998 novel Bag of Bones. Interesting. Well, that's Creepshow 2. I wish I had a physical media, like a cool physical media release to show you of this movie, but it is just a straight old school. I'm trying to think if I have it down here. Yep, there it is. I'll show you how old this fucking thing is. Oh. It is so old. Oh, this is an Anchor Bay physical media release. Old ass DVD. I think when I got this, I was not impressed by the artwork on the back. It looks rough. Let's see when this was released. Does not have when it was released. 1987 is when it was originally released. For some reason, there's not a release number on this, which is very weird. I've had this for so long that it's like it's wavy. Even the disc looks like it's got some art. It's got like the cover art on it, but it looks cheap. You know, it looks like a bootleg almost, but I know it's not. So yeah, that is Creepshow 2. I might do an unboxing of the 4K when I decide to pick that up. If I pick it up when it comes out, I don't know, but I will try my best. Ian, I just wanted to say thank you again for coming on and suggesting to watch this movie. I'm sorry that you did not get to stay and talk about it. I really wish that you did, but those are my thoughts on this movie. It's okay. The Raft is awesome. I feel like this is going to be the stream that we just talked about the Raft the whole time. But I am stinky from work, so I'm going to get showered up. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that watched this stream. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and enjoy the rest of your day. And always remember, guys, stay spooky.